Up next on the racing calendar is the Bay Paddle. It'll be a 35-mile paddle. After that, I will be at the Adirondack 90. So, definitely putting in lots more volume outside of these videos and these key workouts, which is what I like Training Peaks for. You have a little video and how-to inside paddletraining.com on how to use Training Peaks to set up a training plan for your next race, and it'll help you determine the volumes that you should be hitting outside of the week, or outside of these key workouts, including these key workouts, from week to week. So you could throw like this training plan in. If you grab a plan with 4 key workouts, you would do the 4 key workouts, and then there would be a difference in how much volume you got in and what Training Peaks suggests. The remainder of that volume, the difference, you're gonna just fill in with kind of event-specific stuff. And by event-specific, I don't mean heart rate, but condition-specific volume. So if you're doing a long, boring, flat race, then you'll just add long, boring, flat mileage. If you're gonna do a downwind race, you could do some fun but really low intensity Zone 2 downwind runs. If you don't think you can do a low intensity downwind run, you're mistaken. I'll link to a video below. Speaking of low intensity, I can't talk and keep my heart rate in the zone. There we go. I will be the first outrigger canoe allowed in the Adirondack 90. We'll see how that goes. I got some like narrow stuff, but man, nothing could be worse than my Hyco to Hatteras adventure, right? That was lots of logs, lots of shallows, lots of crap. Anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Outside of these workouts, that volume, for those of you that thumbs down the 2-hour easy video, I guess you don't want just generic paddling footage. So even though that's what I'm doing for my upcoming events, don't worry, I'm not going to film any more of those sessions. They don't rank highly with the audience. So, for the rest of you that thumbs up it, thanks. You know, you gotta have really thick skin to put anything out there these days. Everybody's a critic. Oh, much harder to be the man in the arena, eh? Clear it out over here a little bit. Okay. Alright. today we are going to do one of my absolute favorite workouts. It's a change of pace workout. And change of pace, or flux intervals, as some like to call it, is where you're going to be fluctuating just below and just above some target that you've identified. And the research is pretty impressive on these flux intervals versus, what we've done so far. We've made it through kind of like our base one phase. Base one, we're just getting out on the water, just getting back into it. We don't need flux intervals. We don't need anything. We just need to paddle. We need to look at our technique. We need to feel the water. And we just need to build the habit back, like build the discipline back to just get on the water for however many sessions each week you plan on doing. Just, either anatomical adaptation phase or base one phase, whatever you want to call it. In this last phase, we were just getting back after it. Now, we're continuing into this next mesocycle, continuing to build that base. But now, you're going to see some of the fun, flashy stuff in the training plan, right? The fun, flashy stuff we did address in last week's video during the 1 hour easy. We'll see how that ranks with the people. It hasn't released yet, hasn't dropped yet. So, in the 1 hour easy, we did talk about how when you look at your weekly training plan and you're short on time, a lot of people's natural tendency is to skip the 1 hour easy, right? Like that's the not important thing in the calendar, and all the stuff with like the bars and the flux intervals and the repeats. Those always seem to be the ones that like get it. But a healthy training plan is one where you kind of miss a different workout each week. And sometimes if the reason that you're missing your workouts is a stressful one, it might behoove you to put the fun, fancy workouts on the back burner that week and just do the 1 hour easies, right? Because they help slurp up cortisol. They're very mentally and physically beneficial. But if you're feeling spry and everything's going well and you're ready and you've been following, you made it through base one and you're ready to get a little bit more out of your workouts, this is one of those ones. And it's so nice because you can adapt it based on how you're feeling in a given day. You don't always have to do what the training peak says. Like, so if there's a target heart rate, you don't always have to hit it. You could hit a different threshold around which you're going to fluctuate. So say you're tired or worn out, or if like you just wake up one day and you're like, dang, I feel amazing today. Do watch out for those days, because if you feel amazing today on an easier workout day, but you've got a really hard workout tomorrow and you blitz it today and then you can't do tomorrow, then you've messed it up, right? So even though this workout is modifiable, we're not going to modify it. The pile of things from the flood, by the way. Paddling past there now is growing and growing. That's nice. There's lots of things I can find. All right. I'm stretching it out. I'm already, we're a mile of warm up. And I'm just trying to release that little impingement that I get in my right shoulder. Nice, chill, 11-minute mile. Super easy, super slow. So, when it comes to time-limited athletes, or most of us, Flux intervals offer a really, really great way to maximize your ROI, your return of investment for that time on the water. So the science, like I said, it's pretty exciting. It's pretty, it's nice. It's to, instead of doing like a steady state piece just at or just above, you know, like just at a certain threshold, when you fluctuate a hair below it and a hair above it and a hair below it and a hair above it, like you're tickling the threshold, it elicits a greater response in the body, right? So say we're gonna do things today. Not quite sure how I programmed this one yet. So say you were gonna do these at your aerobic threshold, so 180 minus age, approximately. You're gonna get out there and you're gonna try to go at an intensity or a speed that yields that aerobic effort. So we're burning primarily fat and oxygen as a fuel source. And we're not generating a ton of lactate as a byproduct of the anaerobic metabolism, which would provide lactate, that anaerobic fuel, and also utilizing glycogen that those fast twitch muscle fibers love oh so much. So you'll go at the top end of your aerobic zone, and then you're gonna push up into the bottom of that zone 3, that zone where you start to generate a little bit more lactate. Just a little, not a lot. You go too hard and you may overload the system. And there's gonna be a clue. We're gonna find out how. We know if we've done that or not here shortly. But you're gonna just drip, just like little tiny drips of that Carolina Reaper pepper into your chili. Just a couple drops. And then you're gonna settle back in to that aerobic pace, that aerobic effort, and let the body handle what it just produced in the surge, in the up piece. If that doesn't make sense yet, don't worry. We're gonna do it together. My hand is numb. It's okay. Just warming up. Probably the gym on Monday. It's just, I'm very sore, I'm very stiff. I got a little bit of wind today. So we'll see. Speed's gonna be a hard metric, very hard metric to utilize today, which is a bummer, because it is the gold standard. It is superior. But that's okay. Most of us have wind and or some sort of current to deal with. All right, and I am just all sorts of stiff today. I got a thing in my leg, thing in my arm. That's why we have an extra long warm up, because we're all getting old. Alright, yeah, it's just right there. Alright, do some boat yoga. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Alright, we got 3 minutes until we're gonna start. It's a 20-minute warm-up, like I said. We ain't getting any younger, so just trust me, 20 minutes. I feel like crap until about 30 minutes anyway. It takes me 30 minutes to start. It's gonna take me 10 minutes of this workout till I get where I'm feeling good. So we've got a little bit of headwind going this way. I love to do my headwinds first. I mean, with my luck, the wind's just gonna die when I turn around or be in my face again the other way. We'll see. I suspect the latter. So I'm gonna adjust my speeds in my head. Like, I had a speed in mind that I wanted to hold. So today's workout, it's a 3-minute flux. So you do 1 minute at the top end of your aerobic threshold, and then we surge for 1 minute into that zone 3, that the pace that you could hold for an hour race. Let's call it, no, for a 2-hour race. So it's not like all out. I mean, it's never all out. Somewhere in that same zone, but not all the way up to your lactate threshold. That's the next threshold up, and we're not going there today. So we've got at the intersection, the end of each zone culminates in a threshold. Threshold, by its very definition, is where, like, you're crossing from one into another. That is a threshold. Between zone 2 and 3, we have the aerobic threshold. This is the way I do my zones. I know everybody does them differently, but this one's very logical to me. Between zones 3 and 4, we have our lactate threshold. And between zones 4 and 5, we have our anaerobic threshold. And those thresholds will move throughout the season. As you gain fitness, as you do more aerobic work, as you do more sprint work, that's gonna move those zones constantly. So to just set it and forget it with some formula is not realistic, and it's not gonna yield the results you want. If you wanna dive in, you can always book a call with me, and we can get your zones set up properly. So I'm gonna be starting here in 1 minute. We're doing 3-minute pieces. Top of zone 2, bottom of zone 3, top of zone 2. And oh my god, it's so windy all of a sudden. This sucks. Oh man. It's like it's just giant gust from nowhere. So the goal, you have to, after the surge, after the second minute, that third minute, you have to get the heart rate down to what it was in the first minute without lowering the speed. So you can't go slower to get the heart rate lower. Okay, and we're on for 1 minute. Steady. Top of my zone 2, because I've warmed up amply. Always angry. It's because of that wind. It says I'm too high. Well, that's just so disappointing. It's a 10:30-minute mile, which is so sad. I want it to be faster, but it's just what the wind's giving me. And I have to have the discipline to do it right, even though I feel like I should be going faster. Okay, here's my chance. 1 minute faster. I'm not gonna change my stroke rate. I'm just gonna push up. Hair. There I am at 152, 154, 153. 9.5 minute mile pace. Lovely. You know, with the wind, it's not so bad actually. And it's bopping back and forth between a 9:30 and a 10. What's important is that you aren't slowing down. Okay. And now I have to go 10-minute mile. Same speed I was holding before. And before the end of this minute, the heart rate has to come down all the way. It's coming. Okay, I made it. By the skin of my teeth. Oh, now we're resting. Yes, rest. Okay. See, that wasn't perfect. It is very hard in the wind. Because like you get these little gusts. And they really mess you up. Because you're like, gee, I was going 10:30 on that last one. And I tried to I pushed up to 9:30, but it was bopping between 9:30 and 10. And then on the third one, I wanted to hold to 10:30 again, but like I kept seeing 11 on the screen. I need it to probably show me my splits, huh? After each minute. Because if I'm getting an average, that would be better. Okay. Kind of starting to tuck in the lee of this whole peninsula up here. So hopefully. Alright. Ooh, too fast. It's okay. It says it's too low, but I know. If I overshoot this, that third minute won't happen. I'll mess it up again. 10. Right now I'm holding a 10-minute mile, which is, without wind, is what I would want. Is what I would have been aiming for. This isn't a hard workout. Need to be. Okay. I'm pushing up for 1 minute. Not changing my stroke rate drastically. I'm just pulling harder. So whereas I might have a 10-pound weight kind of feel in my hand in the first and the third minute, I'm pushing in this second minute in this surge to really find that heavy catch. Much better than the first time. Also tucked out of the wind better. So now I'm just letting that catch go a little and lightening my stroke. Wind comes up. Yeah, I can't tell if I'm doing a bad job. No, there it is. Or if the wind's just so bad. I keep seeing it though. I'm in zone with 10 seconds to go. 146, I'm fine. Ignore that beat. At a 10-minute mile pace. Lovely. So, some ways to get the most out of this workout. Is, yeah, really try to, this is one of those ones where we're really trying to push the speed. Speed up, heart rate down. Speed high, heart rate low. Right? So this is a great workout to work on efficiency, because in that third minute, we don't want the heart rate to stay elevated. That's a sign that the body has not processed. It's still working hard. The heart is still pumping to try to get more fuel and more resources to the working muscles. It's not starting to come down and be kind of like in this rest, back into that rest and digest state. So long and strong for a minute. The wind, I'm aiming for that 10-minute mile. And this first minute, it's gonna take a hot minute. It is a minute, for the heart rate to respond in the first place. So if you hammer it, trying to get into the zone, you're definitely not gonna accomplish the mission. Okay, pushing. For 1 minute. Wind is up. Trying to push for a 9:30, but I'm understanding that the wind is formidable. As I say that, I hit a 9:20. And as I say that, I get hit with a gust and drop back to a 10. Heart rate's nice, heart rate's in control. It's not like skyrocketing. Well, there's a little bit of wind there, so it skyrocketed a little bit. Yeah, it went too high. That's okay. At the end of the piece, oh, this is gonna be a hard one, man. I'm trying to hold 10-minute mile and get the heart rate to come down at the same time. My speed's too slow, but this dang wind, because I'm out in the middle now, I was protected back there. Oh dang, man. just dropped to like 11-minute mile. Come on. There it is. Almost. Got 20 seconds left. I'm at a 10:30, 10:20. As a break in the bump, the wind. I know. We're almost there. Will I make it? 151. Didn't make it. That wind threw me for a loop that time, eh? It's gonna be so nice going that way. How many was that? I don't even know. We're gonna turn around after this next one. One more. The recipes is on these, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want. If you're worried about your mileage because you got like some minute off paces during a workout and you gotta like, I keep paddling so I hit 7 miles or hit 6 miles, then you should reassess. Okay, and we're on. Last piece into the wind. Steady, long, and strong. All right. Right there. Ignoring the beeping, because I know it's going to be hard on the other end of this 3-minute pace. Not hard, but it's easy, but it requires focus. Big gust, dropping me down to a 1050 there for a second. Just trying to hold a 10-minute mile. There it is. Just keeps bouncing anywhere between 10 and 11, man. Now, is my heart rate's too high? Really? Do I have a mismatch? Okay, and I'm pushing up, harder, lengthen it out, trying to squeeze, there it goes, got at least under a 10-minute mile. There we go. Break from the wind right here. Keep seeing little 920s pop up. That feels nice. Hold. 6, 7. Settling back. Big gust of wind. See it dropping. About halfway through. Second minute of aerobic work after the surge. And I am not seeing a decrease in my heart rate. There it goes. Take a deep breath. And if you have to slow the speed for a second, it's not the goal, but do it. Oh, there. I hit 150. I didn't make it again. Dang it. This wind. It's very hard to pace it. Okay. I mean, I guess the important thing is the heart rate was dropping, which is good. other factors that influence your heart rate a whole heck of a lot. Heat, humidity. It's like 97% humidity. Ouch. I like to drink my air. Alright. So let's see what the pace is going this way. I'm going to start out just trying for the same. I'm going to rapidly realize that's way too easy. I don't want to overshoot it though, don't get too excited. So nice cruising with heart rate too low. Let's see what happens. Looks to be maybe a 9:30. Yeah, that looks good. Dang, it's hot when you're not into the wind though. All right, push, push. So I was just very consistent in my push, and I let the Garmin and the speed recording devices catch up to me. And they did. Hovering around a 9-minute mile. Heart rate totally in control. So much nicer going this way. All right. And then lighten it up. See the heart rate coming down. It's coming down, which means my body is processing, it's clearing all the byproducts that it generated in the 1-minute surge. Almost. 2 beats per minute. Up when I said that. Come on. Made it. There. It's just a lag, man. Okay. Oh, it's rest. Rest? Rest. I think. Yes. Yeah. See, I mean, like I said, this isn't a hard workout. I mean, it's hard sometimes to get your heart rate back to what it was in that 3rd minute that it was in that 1st minute without letting the speed drop, right? It's hard on the ego, but it's not hard like on the cardiovascular system or it might be a little hard on the muscular system, depending on how much pressure you're applying. All right. Wind's a little wonky through here, so it seems to be bouncing between 9:30, 9:45. And then of course, as soon as I say that, it's like 9:15, which I don't want. All right where I want to be. Heart rate's not climbing. It's like just steady right there in my zone 2. And now push, push. Have a bad stroke. Push, 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 push. Push with efficiency. When it says heart rate too low, but the speed's where you want it to be, consider it a compliment. Unless the wind's doing the work for you, then don't let it go to your head. Heart rate's nice and steady, not climbing. That 9-minute mile pace now. Slow it down. I'm gonna make it this time. That was a big gust of wind at my back. It's gonna push while I let the heart rate come down. Into the 140s. Bad stroke. It's yelling at me still. 148. That's what I'm trying to get, guys. Your aerobic threshold is going to change throughout your season, because if you're doing it right, your aerobic threshold, the point at which you switch from burning primarily fat and oxygen, which is more efficient, generates more ATP, that'll go up and up and up to higher and higher heart rates, which is great for efficiency. That being said, you'll end up doing your zone 1, zone 2 gets a lot bigger. So you end up doing a lot more volume zone 1, zone 2, just from a muscular standpoint, because it's harder on the body to hold those speeds. But cardiovascularly, you'll be fit and you won't be generating a ton of cortisol or utilizing lactate for those speeds. You become an efficient machine. And I think that's why a lot of like off-the-shelf training plans tend to, you'll see them like the, base one do a lot of work at 70% or 75%. And then, base 2, base build phase, you start moving into 80% work, 85% work. And I have a hypothesis heart rate, sorry. My hypothesis is that like a lot of these training plans, they're, who built them? Where'd they come from? Did the person who built them understand like physiology? Or are they just doing something their coach did, or like, because it's like the generally accepted reason, the way to do things. 70% to 80% of your max heart rate for any of these pieces. And they're like, oh, because it works. But do you know why it's working? You actually, if you've done everything right, and the athlete is now experiencing a higher aerobic threshold, yeah, you're doing your work at a higher intensity relatively, right? So slightly faster. But metabolically, are you still increasing that? Your volume, the bulk of your volume is still aerobic. So even though you're training at a higher intensity later in that training plan, the assumption is that you have lifted your aerobic threshold. Because to do too high of a volume above aerobic threshold will leave you overtrained and burned out. So, yeah. I made it. Dang lag. Alright, yeah. Just a lag, that's all it is. Be smarter than your device. Just because it's beeping at you and yelling at you doesn't always mean something. So yeah, I think that that's the case with plans that are built based on a percentage of maximum heart rate. Because later in my season, as I drive the aerobic threshold up from, early season or coming off a sprint year, I'll be down at like 148, 150 something. I'm being pretty conservative at 148 right now. It might be a little higher. I can test that here shortly with my lactate meter, and I will before going into the next build phase. Actually, what? I'll probably test it soon, starting this second, kind of base phase, just to make sure. Because the more precise you can be training at that aerobic threshold, the higher that ROI, the return on that investment for your time. All right, set solidly in zone 2, 9:30. Push up. Smoothly and efficiently. Shouldn't look like the struggle bus. Should look long and graceful. Relax the muscles of the face. Lengthen it out like a cheetah running. Long. Grab that water and squeeze with your core. Squeeze with the body. And settle. Back to 30. Relax the muscles of the face. Trick that heart rate into getting lower. Don't let the speed go. And play with it. Practice. holding my speed. What do I have to do to get the heart rate to come down? Oh, yawn, maybe. Maybe I better go up. There it is. 148. Oh, I got 930. 930. Need my split to pop up on this sucker. Can I hit this button and nothing will happen? Nope. Okay. Sorry. Something will happen. Today's not like a good day to gauge how my training is coming, how my aerobic system's developing, or anything. This is it's enough wind to throw a wrench into things, right? Because I mean, one way you're feeling slow, the other way you're feeling kind of quick. You're getting a push. I think I'm going too fast. Already going too fast because of that windy push. Alright, locking in somewhere around a 930. Long and strong. Grabbing the water. When I set my catch, I feel it in my hamstrings, all the way in my hamstrings. I'm setting. My lats, which everybody seems to emphasize a lot, kind of just along for the ride. And they have to be strong. Your hamstrings are way stronger than your lats. And you're only going to take like a stroke that's as strong as your weakest part. So yeah, your arms and your lats are dropping the ball. By all means, strengthen them. But this is where I will make another pitch and advocate for a balanced strength training plan that develops your push and pull musculature as well as your upper and lower body and your left and right sides in a specific ratio to optimize performance and prevent injury. I think I'm losing some of my wind because I'm trying to hold the speed. When I was holding back there, my heart rate went way higher. It's also the end of the workout. It's hot as blazes. I was going to say a different word. B word that it said hot as. And they're often sweaty. It's just too hot. Which can artificially inflate your heart rate. But metabolically, my body doesn't know the difference, so. Yeah, to get my heart rate coming down on this one, that speed's at a 10-minute mile, not a 9:30. That's terrible. I hit 148. I made it, but dang. Well, there it is. All of a sudden, it was a 9:30 right there at the end. It's crazy. It's just the way it is in the conditions, huh? It's okay. Just gonna do your best. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're not gonna nail each one. Don't let perfection be the thief of progress. Some of the 3-minute pieces are gonna be like textbook, like something that they're gonna print in a famous paddling physiology textbook one day. There will be no such thing as famous paddling physiology textbook. And others, it's just going to be all over the place, and there's nothing you can do. How many of these do I have left? Okay, long and strong. Initiating this catch, this push down right here. When I push down with my abs, I'm actually, it's like good morning in the gym. It's good morning. It's like doing a good morning. I want you to feel the drive all the way in your hiney. Feel that catch in your butt, man. Push with the hamstrings. So I'm driving down, forward and down. Lats, abs, hamstrings. It's that big group that I'm activating. Catch. Yeah, my heart rate's even high right now for the 1 minute piece. I think the heat's just getting to me. I should slow it down. Oh. Ha. I'm already in my cool down. The workout's over. Let's just keep doing it. Okay, push up for 1 more minute. Bonus piece. Let's go fast. Okay, what can we do? Let's open it up. Open it up. Got 45 more seconds. What are we hitting? What are we gonna hit? 8 minute mile. There it is. 7:55. Longer, stronger. Oh yeah, boy. 7 minute mile. 6:55. What are they? 6:45. Ah. That was fun. That didn't happen. It wasn't in the training plan. Didn't happen. If you are suffering from aerobic deficiency syndrome, do not do that. Granted, at the end of the workout, it's a lot less detrimental than generating or providing those lazy little fast twitch muscles with too much lactate in the beginning. They'll pick up all the slack. You want to, well, maybe it's the lazy slow twitch muscles. I don't know. You want to force those slow twitch muscles to do the bulk of your heavy paddling. And to do that, we've got to keep that lactate out of the equation. And in flux intervals like today, where we have just a little bit, and it's like Nemo in the anemone. Got 1 minute up, we poke our heads out of the anemone, and then we bring it back. And we poke it out, and we bring it back. So, that 1 minute up, you're poking your head out into the lactate. Just little drips, drips. And then you're dialing it back and letting the body figure it all out. And you're also sending it a signal like, hey man, no bigs. No reason to panic. We're chill, we're cool, we're cool. Let that heart rate come down. And it drives up. Also the slightly higher speed, your body will go, oh yeah, it's not so bad. We could probably meet those energy demands with aerobic metabolism. And it'll start trying. It'll start doing that. So, yeah, man, these flux intervals, definitely a favorite of mine. Seemingly a favorite for many physiologists and coaches and scientists. So all over the board, whether people do them because of experience and they say, oh, this has just worked for a long, long time, or people who are studying them and say, oh, yep, the science is all there, these work, then, yeah, man, there's not really a lot of naysayers for flux intervals. On a day where you need a lot of recovery, you could pick a speed too. Like it doesn't have to be a heart rate. So say you're doing an ultra distance race, and your last ultra distance race you held 4.5 miles an hour, right? But you really, really, really want to hold 5 miles an hour. They're both aerobic potentially. But something about that 5 miles an hour is like, once you get moving, it just wigs out the body. You could just do these flux intervals. You can change the sequence. You could do 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's another one of my favorites. It's an 8-minute piece. It goes 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 minutes at your 4.5, 1 minute at 5, 2 minutes at 4.5. Making sure that like the heart rate starts to come down and relax at that when you're at that 4.5. So 4.5 needs to be this like home base. And then so you would week after week do that same workout, and once you're nailing that one, you actually start increasing the speed. Do it at 4.75 and 5.25, and then 5 and 5.5 one day. It'd be nice if you have like a nice calm space to do that in. But the goal would be to eventually convince the body that 5 miles an hour, which will eventually be the 2-minute pieces, not the 1-minute pieces, is that the 5 miles an hour is the easy, stress-free spot where you live. Like, this is where I live. I can do this all day. Speaking of where I live, my heart rate is so elevated because of this humidity. Crazy. But also then that really high octane coffee I had too. Yeah, boy. Do not get this water in your mouth right now. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this workout. You know, I can do all the generic things. If you liked it, give it a like. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know, do it for these geese. It always freaks me out. Like, all the geese are going that way except the one. He's like keeping an eye on me, kind of swimming at me. Honk honk. make sure I'm not gonna do anything crazy. God, geese are mean. I'm moving along, I'm moving along. They're cute though. Alright. Cool. Cool beans, guys. Like, subscribe. You know, if you didn't like the 2-hour easy video, that's fine. Just be like, hey, you didn't really walk us through a workout. I didn't like it. Go ahead. Hit me with your best shot. I mean, the alternative is to have really thin skin and never post anything again. That's not my style. There's nothing you can say that'll get through. So, haters gonna hate. Pick apart my technique. Pick apart my science. I'm helping any of you out there somewhere. If you enjoy doing these workouts, then this video's for you. And for everybody to be hating, it's not for that. So we're good. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. About heart rate, speeds, technique. And I will be happy to answer them. All right. See you next week. Over and